Oh my God! When people like crush your hand with a handshake, chest up, shoulders back, show up in a clean suit.
Black, navy, gray, brown, tan.
Sir, I'm really happy to be with this company. I'm not gonna let you down.
You cannot mess up.
People complaining about nepotism, but I guarantee they're ugly. Creator ego, you gotta not have that. You'll be a shark swimming through. You wanna have a small footprint. 48 laws of being the man. 48 laws for kids. You don't want to put people off with your creepy energy. Ugly, unlikable, can't do nothing. Got his eyes wide open. Robert Greene.
I'm a 29-year-old structural engineer gonna get my PE license within the year. I want to start a business, but I have no idea where to start. I have the charisma of a turd. Boss in the satellite office has gaslit others to get rid of me. What do I do?
You gotta have charisma no matter what line of work you're in. It doesn't matter if you work with numbers or you can't be so low charismatically that some guy can game theory you out of the company with his moves. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, let's just say you get your license, it just happens again at the new place.
And that's just reality. If you're gonna start a business on your own, pretty hard to do that if you don't have like a network of connections to refer back to and draw from for talent and look to for advice and sell to, etc. So you want a network of people, which is people that like you. And typically, you get that by working in a field for 10 years or 5 to 10 years and being likable. So you're going into age 30 and you don't have that. That's a necessary component in certain types of businesses. I don't know how much of whatever it is that you hope to do is something you can do via email. A lot of stuff requires face-to-face interaction and likability. So this little scenario where the guy is campaigning to get you ousted it's not a good sign. You can't be unlikable. It's like it'll ruin your life.
Also, guys, get nepotistic and familial. Americans are uniquely bootstrap obsessed detrimentally.
Yeah, all that. Being bootstrap obsessed, that's a dumb man's game. Oh my God! People complaining about nepotism, just low vibrational. Nepotism means that your parents were so cool and so much fun to be around that the people they work with want you around too. Yeah. That's a good thing. There's this sick obsession. It's like, and it's all ugly people too. Now kind of everybody's in that camp. Like everybody's like, oh, nepotism's terrible. I hate nepotism. The people who started that, I guarantee they're ugly. Like the first people that started complaining about nepotism, they were ugly. Okay, they were busted in the face. I don't think it's fair that he's got a job opportunity. Why can't I have one? Ugly, unlikable, can't do nothing. If your time was more valuable, they would have hired you. You think they're gonna lose out on massive savings by hiring someone they like over someone as talented and as good at their job as you? No, it's that you're ugly. Your soul is ugly. Why didn't they hire me? They hired the person whose family loves him. There's this like obsession with taking what's normal and good, like a loving family and like popularity, and turning it on its head. And making it all about like, just reversing the hierarchy. Yeah. Well, flipping the hierarchy on its head is what they're obsessed with.
If it doesn't
because they're at the bottom and they want to be at the top.
If it doesn't work out for you, there's still a positive side. It could work out for your kids. Like you could be cool enough to give your kid an advantage.
They know that's not going to happen.
Hi, Nick. I turn 18 in 2 weeks. Mommy works for title attorneys in Nashville. What are things I should ask them to learn about real estate?
What states it's legal to wholesale in, what the names of the 5 lawyers who buy the most properties are and what their LLCs are. Find them, track them down, and work for them. Guys who are buying the most properties the day of the sale, go to sales yourself to see how it works. Find the guys find the check cutters, wait till the end of the sale, find the guys that are writing the checks to the patsies, and then talk to those guys.
I've noticed the tendency in other people who aspire to do stuff like this, who kind of run the show, to clamp down and attempt to be precise with their like creative vision. I mean, we've seen a lot of similar crews who make stuff who like just fuck up. Creator ego is like you got to not have that. In my opinion, most of the good stuff that happens, it's not because you planned it so good. It's more accidental than that. If you think that you're gonna plan something good, that just shows that you don't have experience creating stuff, or that you don't pay attention to how the stuff actually happens. You're setting up the conditions for organized chaos to unfold. The people you work with, you want them to feel like they have ownership over, because if they don't feel like they've got ownership or important input to the thing, then they're just gonna feel like they're doing a paid gig, and that doesn't really lead to anything stellar, in my opinion. There's a time where you got to have people that are where they're clear that like you're being paid to do a gig. There is a time when you need to like have that kind of dynamic, but usually not. When I was in my 20s, 48 Laws of Power, that was like a huge thing. The 48 Laws of Power! Learn how to become a CEO, billionaire, master of the corporate world. A shark. You'll be a shark swimming through.
I want you to develop.
He looks like a I want you to believe me and buy my book because I accomplished so much. Here's a list of what I accomplished. Writing a book. You can be like me. You can write a book. You can also podcast. His publisher, once the 48 Laws of Power took off, his publisher was probably blasting off, you got to do 48 laws of this, 48 laws of that, 48 laws cookbook. Why not? We got to go. 48 laws of pickup, seduction, learn how to get women. 48 laws of being the man. 48 laws for kids. 48 laws for kids. 48 laws for women. 48 laws for cripples. Nobody has such a broad scope and amount of wisdom. Green said, I'm Jewish, but I don't have a hardcore spiritual practice. That sounds weird. Jeez Louise. Very few people have enough upstairs to warrant writing 7 books. My buddy, my sparring partner, when he was on house, when he had the bracelet on his ankle, he was on house arrest, but he was living with friends during that like tumultuous period of his life. And he said, it wasn't some profound thing, but I think about it a lot. He said, I asked him how he was getting along with his friends in this like small apartment. And he said, I'm making myself real small. And what he meant was he's not being like 6'4" guy, like busting down doors and like leaving the milk out. He means like he's like taking up a small corner and like making sure that his presence is not occupying the minds of the people that he's
like a Japanese
guy. In a workplace, you want to have a small footprint. If you ask a typical person how you get along in an office, they're gonna say, all right, man, first day, chest up, shoulders back, show up in a clean suit with your shoes. If somebody showed up, if this was a more normal office and there wasn't a server on the floor and there weren't people wearing fluorescent hats, and some punk bitch showed up in a suit and it was obvious that he was trying to make a good impression, I would say, hey man, nice to meet you. I'm gonna write you off immediately and never talk to me again. Chest up, shoulders back, make eye contact. Chris, sir, what do you need? Sir? Hey, nice to meet you. I'm really excited to be here. Chris, what do you need? What do you need? You want me to get out of your face?
Yeah.
Sir, I'm really happy to be with this company. I'm not going to let you down. I work at Deloitte and Touche. Nice to meet you. You may be wondering, is it Deloitte that I work for or Touche? Well, sometimes it's Deloitte, sometimes it's Touche. The way you get self-confidence is by getting good at something. In my opinion, there's not too much you can do to circumvent that. Like if you don't make the time sacrifice to get good at something, the fake self-confidence stuff, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be. Like I've met people, you can tell when somebody, the firm handshake is the main giveaway. That's a big giveaway. When you meet someone and they crush your hand with a handshake. Yeah. Like, hey, nice to meet you. I'll do it to you. Oh, I'm just kidding. But when people like crush your hand with a handshake, you're like, oh, you've been doing manosphere and everything you're about to tell me is fake. That like fake it till you make it. Like make eye contact, chest out, shoulders back, firm handshake.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
This is what I do.
And when people, like you can tell when people are doing this posture, you can tell, you can see that. We saw that in New York. You know the guys with the button-up shirts? Those guys were cool and everything, but there were a handful of people where you could tell they were like ready to pulverize a handshake and make solid eye contact. How about this? Just be comfortable in your own skin and don't do the 48 laws of power on me, because I can tell. I can see that from a mile away. I can see. And by the way, Robert Greene, who wrote the 48 laws of power, Robert Greene. Go look him up. 48 laws of power, Robert Greene. You must always punish your enemies. 48 more laws of power. I guess you'll just have to buy another book. Silly Billy! And then you see him in interviews. You don't want to put people off with your creepy energy immediately and ruin your first impression by being the eager guy that's like got his eyes wide open. Just be normal. Try to convey the sense that this is not a life and death situation for you, that you're not going to be eagerly hanging on to the words of whoever's talking to you, okay? Just be normal. Find out the things, the people above you, the people that you need to impress. Find out the stuff that they don't like doing and get it done with minimal communication. Just have it get done in the background so that it gets done. Keep your footprint low. You don't have to hide in the corner, but don't be the eager guy. I'm rambling here. Sorry, I'm yapping.